Yo, what's up guys? I'm recording this right after the unboxing video, but finally everything's done, so we're gonna be taking a closer look at this. So this is the FF 2.0 Black Edition, and overall it's a really, I'd say, I don't know if it's big. I haven't actually put this side by side to the Solar Hyperion. If you guys don't know, I have the FF Lite, the Hyperion, the P1 3.0, I got rid of that, but I have the FF 2.0 now. So right now it's sitting on this desk, and the reason why it's sitting on this desk is because, one, I'm recording this video, but this thing is heavy as fuck. Like, obviously, part of it's my problem, because I'm probably too weak and shit, but like, dude, I thought the Hyperion was heavy, because that shit's like 110 pounds, 105 pounds. This thing, the website says 105 to 110 pounds. The actual weight of this is, I think it's 135 or 140. I think it's 135. That's what is said in the actual manual. I guess that's the real weight. So this thing is going to be heavier than the Hyperion by a good 20 pounds, maybe 25, 30 pounds. So it's significantly heavier. In terms of the length, again, I would have to put it next to a Hyperion to like really check to see which one is bigger. But I can tell you, like, when I'm in the elevator, I have to like flip the scooter around, and then I grab it by this handle. But getting it up on here was such a pain in the ass. Like, bruh, I don't know how I'm gonna get it off. Like, I don't want to drop it and fuck it up, you know? So I gotta like somehow figure out how to get this thing on and off. But we'll figure that out. I'm gonna do it after this video, so tomorrow I can ride it. But anyways, let's jump right in. We got these mud guards right here. These fenders. I think these should work a lot better than the ones on the Hyperion. The Hyperion doesn't even have it, and like the FF Lite, the fenders don't actually work. They're just decorations. If you actually want protection from like rain and stuff, you have to get an extender that goes on the back of the wheel. But this one, looking at the design, it looks pretty good. Obviously, we'll find out. This is obviously the 2.0 edition, so there's two shocks right here. I think you can adjust it by like this thing right here. I think you can turn this thing. I think that's how you would adjust it. And we got these turning signals right here. And then there's two lights down here. Now, what really disappointed me was like, there's deck lights here, right? I thought that there's obviously two headlights here as well. I thought they would use the headlights and then these as like the tail lights, and then obviously turning signals as well. And then I thought like these would be like, well, I guess one of them would be like a light, and then the other one would be like a tail light, and then one of these would be turning signals as well. I thought, like, looking at the website, and like that's what I thought it was maybe it was like for the older version, but at least for this one, that is not the case. Don't ask me why they did it like this, but these are actually the headlights. So they're not, you actually don't have turning signals in the front. These are just gonna be normal headlights that turn white. I'll show you guys in a second. And then on the back here, these are like the cool lights, right? These are like the big ones that actually look cool. Instead of making these the tail lights and the turning signals, they made it so that the tail light is actually this top light right here. So that one turns red. I don't know. So then this thing doesn't even turn on. Like, the only time this thing turns on is if you're making a turn, which is like only 5% of the time, maybe, probably even less. The one that's gonna stay on the whole time is this one right here, which doesn't really make sense. Like, they should have just made it this one because it looks way better, right? But I guess not. And then this bottom right here doesn't even work. Like, I think it's a empty, I think they just have like the thing made in the frame, but it's actually not hooked up to anything. So that one doesn't even turn on. I haven't actually opened up the deck yet because I haven't had a reason to open up the deck, and like, I think it would ruin the waterproofing and stuff like that if you do open it up. So I just saved myself time, didn't open it up. But once I do open it up, I'm gonna check the wiring for this and see if I can like change it a little bit, or if I can't change it, like just see like what's going on in the back. Like, is it just the empty light socket that doesn't have anything hooked up to it or anything like that. And then obviously there's fenders in the front as well, unlike the Hyperion. The horn does not work. There's like a tutorial online that says like, oh, if the these things have power, the horn should work, and like you can adjust it with this thing, that golden thing right here. Maybe that is true, maybe it's not, but this horn does not work. It is connected up in the wires. There's one wire that comes all the way down here, but so far it doesn't work. Now, I don't really use the horn to begin with, so 99% of the time you're actually not even going to notice the issue, but if you are looking to use the horn, it's not going to work. And here we go, we got the steering damper. It's connected right here. This damper, if you're looking at the size, it's a little bit bigger than the damper on the FF Lite. It's about maybe like half an inch longer than the one on the FF Lite. The one on the FF Lite goes like this. This one goes side by side. So if you notice, this deck is like really wide, by the way. This damper sticks out even more than that. So if you are riding out like on Speedway or somewhere crowded, you gotta be careful that, you know, you're not squeezing in somewhere between different people, because they will hit this damper. And if they hit the damper, it's probably gonna hurt for them too, but it's also gonna damage this possibly, and like it'll affect the turning too. Like just be careful. Like, keep in mind that this thing is wide. It does look a little bit funky. It's like, it's not perfectly straight, but this is the way it goes on, and like it's the way they show it in the tutorial as well. So that's gonna be that. Of course, dual hydraulic nut brakes, and then the battery is a 45 amp hour version. Hyperion's only 40 amp hours, so I think this one is a little bit more range, but of course we'll take a look at that as we go. And then obviously this damper is attached to these things. I don't know if these things actually do anything. Obviously it prevents like this thing from flexing, but to be honest with you, this thing is solid metal. I don't see this thing like bending or like flexing. Like, I've never really had that issue with any of the other scooters, and so I don't know, this might be decoration, but it is useful for like the damper to connect to, so that's gonna be one thing as well. Speaking of which, I got this Craftsman drill with the Allen key bits, which is really nice. And then I got like my what is it, plastic, like the shirt camera mount. It's up in here, but it's all disassembled, so I gotta like build that shit if I want to do that. So anyways, let's take a closer look at this scooter itself. Powering it on, it is gonna look completely different. I'm standing on this fucking this furniture right here, by the way, has wheels. Shit's supporting this what is it, how heavy is this scooter? 140 pounds plus like me, so it's like 320 pounds. It's crazy. Anyways, the key is gonna look like this. So it's gonna look like this. You got one of these, and then you got one of these. The FF Lite also has one of these, but on the FF Lite, it's actually kind of like not that what is it? It's not really useful, because either I'm using it wrong or it just doesn't really work that great. Because like you would try to unlock it, doesn't really work. This one's the key, right? Obviously you stick it in here and you turn it on, but when you want to lock it, you can actually double lock it as well. So if you click lock, this whole thing is going to turn off. So you don't actually need the key, I think. And then obviously I think you can turn it back on like that. I think you press the middle button and then the whole thing turns on. So you don't actually need the key, which is interesting though, because I can't take the key out. So unless I can just leave it like this, but I think when you do that, it cuts the whole power off. So then now, obviously, since I took the key out, this thing doesn't really work. So I don't really know how that works. Like, I guess if you keep the key in here, then you can double lock it, right? And then so if you do that, I guess you get like a double lock, like even if, oh shit. I guess that's like the alarm. I'm still confused on how it works, but like basically because I locked it on here, even though I inserted and turned the key, this thing is not gonna turn on. So you actually need a double lock, which is press this middle button, and then there we go. This thing turns on. It's kind of confusing. I feel like this wasn't how it was designed to be like used. Like, I think maybe this thing should have been just like a button down there that controls like the power input to like the whole scooter, like on the FF Lite. Like the FF Lite has like a button on the deck itself that shuts off power to the entire scooter, and so that one's typically kept on, and on top of that you have like this stuff. So I don't know if that's how they were meant to be used, but I don't know, maybe I'm just using it wrong. We'll figure that out. This one's the voltage, how much is in the battery, and then this is the horn. Does not work. These are the turning signals, and then these are the lights. So in terms of the lights, I'll show you guys what I was talking about earlier with the lights, right? So I'm gonna get off this thing real quick. Try not to tip this thing over. But the front headlights right here, they are really bright. I'm in the room, so I can't really tell. But I think one of them is like long range, one of them is like shorter, or I don't. They might just be the same thing. I don't know. But we got the lights here, but this is what I'm talking about. These lights right here are not turning signals. I don't know why they don't make it turning signals. Like on the solar EQ and the FF light, these things right here are both turning signals. And turning signals from the front are actually really, really important because like turning signals from the back are important too, but the ones on the front, like if you're trying to make like a left turn or you're trying to make like a right turn, like if you have turning signals on the front, it lets other cars know that you're gonna make a turn, so the car can either wait or they can like just go knowing that you're not going in that direction. If you don't have this, there's no way for them to know that from the front. So it's definitely, I don't know why they would make this headlights. The other thing is these lights, it's not like they're like daytime running lights as well. Like if you turn off the light switch up here, all of the lights turn off. So it's not like these are like daytime running lights and these you can turn on like when it's dark. Nah, they're just both headlights for some reason, which I don't really get. Same thing with the thing back here. This is what I was talking about. I think only the bottom light works. The top one is, I think it's just an empty socket. And then these things don't even turn on, which I don't get. Like, they should have just, these things are the ones that look nice, right? So they should have just made this thing up here, because here, I'll show you. When I turn the turning signals on, these things look really good. Like there's like this yellow turning animation, and then behind that there's like a blue light, which looks really nice. So in my opinion, like they should have made it so that the blue light stays on always, right? Like as soon as I turn the turning signal off, this whole thing is gonna shut off, and it's just this black thing right here, which I don't really get. Like it's kind of ugly, right? Like they should have just made it so that that blue light stays on the whole time, and then specifically when you use the turning signals, that'll turn on the yellow. I think if they did it like that, it would have looked so much better. Like again, I don't know what they were doing with that, but I think what it could be for though is, I think on the original Solar FF 2.0, they didn't have these things, so the turning signals went to this thing right here. But on this model, since they have these things, they might have just taken the connection from that and connected it to this. That could be what it is. I'm not sure, but again, they should have really made these like the daytime running lights, because they look really nice. And so we got the spring right here, it works. We got the solar logo right down here. The one difference is though, this scooter is not just Tron lights that just go around. It's actually, the deck has this as well, and then on the sides it has this as well, and then the deck itself all lights up. This looks so much better than the Tron lights. Like, I don't know if you guys see my Instagram, but I post a lot of like pictures with like the lights and then like the Hyperion lights. It looks really nice. This looks like so much fucking better, like bro. And here's the thing, the Tron lights are easy to break. Like on the Hyperion, one time I was riding in the rain and like the whole Tron strip got shorted and it started smoking. Other time I was just trying to like press it on and then the thing stopped working, so I had to change it again. Or if you fall on your scooter, if something does happen to it, the first thing that gets scraped is obviously going to be the sides. So then if that does happen, the Tron lights are going to instantly break as well. So in my opinion, Tron strips are really easy to break. This thing seems a lot better quality than the Tron strips itself. So I'll show you guys that in a second. But in terms of the folding mechanism, it's really similar to the P1 3.0 and what is it? I forgot what it's called. The P1 Pro. You basically take this string, pull it out, pull this thing, and this whole thing tips down, and then the wheel comes up, obviously. This thing is heavy though, but I'll show you guys the lights. If I go up here, I'll show you guys the lights. So these are the turning signals. Again, I showed you guys earlier, and that comes up on the display as well. And then you got this. These are the displays to the lights. So if you click this, we got this thing to turn on, right? But I'm gonna turn the lights off real quick so you guys can see better. But these look so good, okay? They would look better if these things would work properly and like they would turn blue and shit. Like even when you're not like why would they make these things? Why would they make these things the tail lights instead of like making the turn signal lights? Like, bro, imagine the blue light stayed on the whole time. It would look so much better. I don't know why they didn't make it like that. But anyways, here we go. Now there's actually like a remote when it comes to this as well. It looks like this. I can control it on here. Right now it's set to the lowest brightness settings. So I'm gonna turn it up and it's gonna be even brighter, right? But you guys can actually change the color as well. So if I click this, you can change the color. It's like literally like the Hyperion and shit. Like you can only choose one color, but this thing you can choose any color you want. Speaking of which, it's downtown Austin at like 10 p.m. at night. You can see downtown's that way. That's the tower. But yeah, it's gonna be from my dorm. Next year I gotta like live in those apartments all the way up there. If you guys see that, focus is fucked up. But yeah, those have like pretty nice environments. But I'll tell you what, these red lights are really bright though. Like I don't know if you guys can tell in the camera, they're like shining in my face. But anyways, we got these lights here. You guys can really tell how bright it is. Like these lights are crazy bright. It is bright, bro. And then you got these lights as well. But like basically, here's the remote. So you can like change the color, right? You could do red, green, blue. Blue looks pretty good as well. You could do yellow. You can basically do any color. You can do this color as well. I like this. You could do like pink. So like depending on who's riding it, like you can change the color. So that's really cool. And you can also like, oh, it was white. You could do white. You could just cycle through the entire like rainbow color, basically any color you want. Like this one's like a brighter pink. This one's like a cyan. It's more of like a turquoise color. I don't know if it looks the same on camera, but it's actually a different color. And then like you got blue, you got lighter blue, you got this, you got like a darker orange color, and then you got this. Like you can literally do any color you want. And then like this one's actually auto mode, so it's like gonna look like this, and everything lights up as well. Like this whole thing, all the side scooters, this thing, this part right here, the logo on top, it looks so fucking good. This is the one thing that you can't compete with when it comes to the Hyperion. This thing looks so fucking sick. Like bro, you're riding this shit at night, like everybody's gonna be fucking looking. And here's the thing, with the Tron lights, if you're riding it during the day, right? Oh, wait, here. I think I can change it more too. Like, wait a second. There we go. You got like this thing. See how all the colors are changing and all that? Could do like this. Could do this. You could do like this too. You can change the speed that it lights up as well. I could make it slower. This one, now it's a little bit slower. I could speed it back up as well. So now it's even faster. I could keep changing it. You got like this color as well, which is really cool. I think there's like back to this rainbow color. There's like, I think oh wait, this is new, right? I just hope I'm not cycling through the same ones. But like, here's the thing. There's so much like customization that you could do with this. Like, it's literally impossible to like be using the same color at the same day. So like, this is the one thing that looks really cool. If they just fix the horn, they made this the turning signals, and then the tail lights, they made like this thing, the tail lights, and then it would be so much better, right? I like it. Just hates. I just hate how they made this, but then didn't decide to like use it. But whatever. That's that. So oh, and then for like normal colors as well. It's not just plain red. Like you can have this like circling pattern as well for all of the colors. This is actually my first time cycling through everything, so I'm just finding everything out now, but there's so much like I'm spending like so much like time just on the lights, but that's that. And here's the thing. These lights are bright. Like the Tron lights, like the Hyperion. Right now, right? If I go outside and then I turn the lights on, it's gonna be bright because it's a dark, the lights are off. Right? Looks really cool. But if I turn the lights on, okay, it looks the same. But if you're in like the sun, it's not gonna stand out as much. The FF light is right here as well. I don't need to turn that on. But these things, like, even if it's during the day, like you can see the lights. That's how bright it is. But let's actually get to like powering the scooter now. I haven't actually rode this thing, so I don't know how it performs. I don't know if it's like easy to ride, hard to ride, stable, not stable. I don't know how good the suspension is. These are actual shocks. Like the FF Light is just integrated suspension. We have like one shock in the front. We have dual shocks in the back, which is like more than what's on the Hyperion. So that's gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna just stand up on this thing. I swear to God, if this thing breaks. But anyways, we got this thing up here. The other thing is, I forgot to say, on the website, or I think the YouTube videos, they said something about there being like a knob here. There's no actual knob. I think they just didn't attach it, but I think there's a hole, so you might be able to like insert something and like adjust it that way. But there's no actual like knob. And anyways, like here's like the lights to the deck, so I can like cut the power here if I wanted to, turn it back on. And in terms of the display, I think this is about it. This is the speed, this is the battery, this is the trip. I think it's the odometer, or it might just be like a mile counter or something like that. And this blue thing is for like the headlights. The other thing too is you don't have to have the headlights on for like the Tron lights to work. So you can literally like, bro, I was looking on TikTok and shit, and they were talking about how you can have like just buy scooters as furniture. Like you don't actually need furniture, right? You can actually use this. And like I saw Solar Scooters posting about like using scooters as night lights. You can do that with this thing, because literally this entire thing, it's literally a night light. You can change the color. You could set it to red if you actually wanted to act like a night light. If you just want it to look cool, you can do it like this. But dude, this would look cool in like a gaming room. But anyways, let's turn the lights back on, and I'll show you guys how that works. And then also there's this cool animation when you turn it on, like the Lamborghini. So that's gonna be the, and then this thing is a full twist throttle. This whole thing turns, right? I thought this would be sketchy, but of course I don't know until I actually ride it. But like from the testing I've done, it seems to be pretty good. It doesn't seem jerky at all, and I think it's like really easy to like adjust exactly how much throttle you're giving it. But anyways, this switch, there's another switch right here that you can change like 1, 2, and 3. This is just the power modes, but I don't want to floor it right now because I don't want the vibrations to like fuck this thing up. But if you're in mode 1, this thing, if I'm flooring it right now, it goes up to like 32-ish. Mode 2, it'll go even faster. Oh wait, what the fuck? It's not going any faster. I think that might be because I'm in eco mode. I'm gonna turn this off real quick. Oh, damn. 61 miles an hour. Okay, so this button right here is for eco and turbo. As you guys can see, that was mode 2. If I do mode 3, I'm scared. I feel like last time I did this with the Hyperion, I like floored it. The wheels went like 120, slammed the brakes and the whole thing, like the disc came loose and shit. But like, I was 76. It could have gone faster, but you guys heard that noise. I didn't want to break it. But anyways, if you switch it back into turbo, I mean eco mode, I think it's capped at 31 miles no matter what. So I think in real life, if you're riding it, it might be more like 20 miles an hour, 25 miles, somewhere like around there. And yeah, that's gonna be that. And then there's a button right here for single versus dual motor mode. If you don't have an option to just do front wheel drive like the Hyperion P1 3.0, FF Lite. You can choose like only front wheel. Now I don't know why you would do that, because like front wheel drive scooter makes no sense. But if you wanted to do that, you had the option. This one is just gonna be rear wheel drive and then front wheel drive. So yeah, that's gonna be that. I think that's about it. There is like a compass up here. I don't know if it actually works. I think it somewhat works, but again, I don't know why you would need it. And then if you do want to charge your phone, this thing does pop up, and then there's a USB port right there. But that's gonna be that. Other than that, that's about it. Honestly, the wheels, the brakes, seem to be pretty good. I had to adjust them initially, but after I adjusted them, right now they seem to be good. The wheels aren't wobbling around, so that's a good sign. So overall, I'm gonna take this for a test ride tomorrow. Hopefully, I can't test drive it to the gym because I'm gonna be busy, but hopefully, like I can set up the camera mount, and then maybe sometime this weekend, or yeah, I can hopefully, what is it? What was I gonna say? I can hopefully like take it for like actual review, riding it around. And then before I get rid of the FF Lite and the Hyperion, if the guys are able to come buy it, if I do decide to sell them, I'll of course film like riding footage on those too before I get rid of them. So yeah, that's gonna be that. That's gonna be it. It's like fucking midnight already. I gotta get up at 4 in the morning. Not 4 in the morning. What the fuck? I have at 8 a.m. tomorrow, but I gotta go to the gym, shower. I gotta go to the gym, work out, shower, come back, and then get ready, get back out, go back to class. That's gonna be like 8 a.m. So I gotta go to the gym by like 6. So I gotta get up at like 5:45. And bro, I'm getting fucked in like MIS and like Excel. I haven't even studied that shit, but like at this point, I spent the whole day doing this shit. So yeah, it is what it is. Scooters on top, right? So yeah, that's gonna be it. I'll hopefully film another video tomorrow, but that's gonna be it. So I'll see you guys. Yo, also one more thing I forgot to do. I forgot to put them side by side, but here we go. The FF Lights are here, but the FF 2.0 and then the Hyperion side by side. In terms of the height, they're about the same. Like the height of the handlebars. This one is elevated right now. This thing is adjustable though, so if you did want it lower, you can. However, I adjusted this while I was standing up, so like this is most likely the best height if you're standing up. However, if you did want to lower it, you can lower it. So the height is about the same. I was hoping it would be lower, but based on like the deck height, it's about the best height. In terms about the length, let's see. We'll put the fronts together. If you put the front wheels together, then the back is about the same, but looks like the FF 2.0 is actually even bigger than the Hyperion, just because the fender sticks out a little bit. It's like a minor difference, but oh my god, bro, the FF 2.0 being bigger than the Hyperion is crazy. And side by side, it looks like this. Now, because it's like tilts over to the side like that. So the problem with these kickstands is that it's really hard to like take out, because then you gotta like take the spring off, unscrew this shit, put it back in above, and then like it's really like difficult to do. So that's why I haven't done it yet, but I gotta like make the kickstand a little bit longer for that. But yeah, side by side it looks like this. I'm trying not to talk too loud right now, but yeah, it basically looks like this, like the front. So I'd say like the Hyperion headlights are like wider. These are more like centered, but like, yeah, like riding it looks like this with this. Hyperion looks like this. Can test the turning signals on both. You can see what I'm talking about though. Like the turning signals on these things look way better than that thing, right? But like having it side by side like this looks really nice. The only thing I gotta do though, again, like I said before, is this kickstand. It looks so weird when it's like tilted to the side like that so much. Like such a nice scooter has to be like propped up right. So I don't know how to fix that. Like, I don't think I could fix it at the moment. So that's something I gotta do tomorrow. Looking at the width of the handlebar, it looks like the FF 2.0 is wider as well. Like, I thought this was wide, but I got pretty used to it. And then when I look at it straight, handlebars on these things look even wider. So I don't know, we'll see how this goes. This is literally bigger than the Hyperion, so I don't really know how we're gonna get around with that. Yeah, we would have to see, because this thing is big. Like, you thought the Hyperion was big, this thing is even bigger. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's gonna be that.